December 1st, cue all the holiday lights and festive fun. Is Mariah Carey playing in the background? Let's get the party going. New Day Northwest starts right now.
It's a new day.
Now, from the Virginia Mason Franciscan Health Studio at King 5 in downtown Seattle, this is New Day Northwest.
Welcome back to the show after a thankfully long weekend with family. I'm Kelly Hansen. Producer Alexis Robertson is joining me on this Monday morning. Hello, my friend.
Hi, Kelly. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm feeling so refreshed and thankful after such a fun weekend with my family. I feel like as you get older, you really realize that quality time is the most important thing. And shout out to my mom, Carolyn, who always does it up. The delicious food is all thanks to her. It was a little different this year with my brothers not being able to fly in, but we still had a great turnout. And I also want to talk about the day after, which I think was the most eventful. Look at this video. This is mayhem. We chopped down, this is a tradition, our Christmas tree in Woodinville. And of course, because my brothers were unable to make it this year, it was me cutting it down, sawing it down with my dad, and then carrying the tree was the hardest part. My mom found a really good one too far out, in my opinion, and then we had to carry it all the way to the car, figure out how to strap it in.
How tall is that tree?
Oh, it's like 7 feet.
Oh my God, him on the ground?
I know. And my dad is like, Kelly, I'm almost 75. This is the last year. He was telling my mom, this is the last year. If your brothers aren't coming in town, I cannot do this anymore. He was covered in mud.
You have to carry the tradition, though. That's
I know.
So fun. Oh my
gosh. I also hear your turkey day had a little more pizzazz in the cooking department.
Yeah,
Please
it's
tell me.
kind of crazy. So this is the third year where my husband and his friend have fried a turkey. So they are very safe. You can see his mask, his little like welding mask there, as he like puts it into the oil, and it was sizzling. It was awesome. But I have to say, it was the best turkey they've made so far. It was amazing. It was it was a 12-pound bird in there for 40 minutes. Hear that sizzle?
Oh my God.
It was so good.
I've always wanted to do this, but you know, we just don't have the equipment. I've always been a little scared.
Look at that.
Look
at
at the
skin.
finished product.
I know. It has like a little crisp to it. It's never dry. It was perfectly salty. There he is. He just rips it apart.
Wow.
It's honestly the best way to eat a turkey. I will never do anything different ever again.
Okay, I think we might have to switch things up because I always feel like the turkey's like a little dry, and it's no shade to whoever's like cooking it every year. It's just like, for me, but maybe that would be right up my alley.
It doesn't even need gravy. Like you have the gravy and you have the cranberry sauce, but it's so good on its own. It's like a fried chicken. It's so good.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's good to be back, though, you know.
Yeah.
And as you can see, now that we're back in the studio with everything and Thanksgiving is behind us, we've traded in the fall decor around the set for Christmas. Oh, yes. While we were eating turkey and stuffing, the elves at Lucky Home in Issaquah made a little magic in our studio, as you can see. The traditional red and green sets the stage with glittery trees and baubles. And the gifting season is here, too. And we got to talk about that. So we're switching gears now. New Day is in gift mode with Hanukkah starting December 13th. And of course, Christmas just a few weeks after that. We're starting this morning with gifts for the fashion lovers. And content creator Dawn Parsons is here. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, you're going to give me all the ideas.
I hope so, yeah.
Hopefully be able to cross off everyone's name.
Yes, I hope so.
From my list.
Yeah.
What did you have in mind, first of all, when you were picking all of these gifts that we see?
Well, they're all things that I love, so one for you, one for me.
Yes.
But they're things that I have and love, and I think they're kind of timeless. I think they're great for your mother-in-law, your aunt, your grandmother, your girlfriends. I think they kind of just cover the range of who you can give these to.
Okay, I love having a classic piece in the closet that you know year over year isn't going to go out of style, not too trendy.
Yes.
So I'm loving these categories that I'm seeing.
Okay.
We're starting off strong with the hottest color of the season. What can you tell me?
All right, burgundy is it. And I'm kind of obsessed with it. I just think
too.
It's beautiful. So many great burgundy pieces out there. I mean, burgundy leather gloves with a cashmere lining, a fun burgundy puffer from Land's End, sweater.
Yes.
I just love burgundy, and I think it looks good on so many people.
And I'm looking at the color that you have next to it.
Yes.
So is this what you're pairing with burgundy?
Okay, so another hot color this season is chocolate brown.
Yes.
But my favorite color combo right now, and I think it's kind of the hot combo, is burgundy and brown together.
Oh, look at you, too,
There's
styling.
This set. This is the burgundy set from Spanx, so it feels amazing, looks fantastic, but feels like you're wearing pajamas.
Oh my gosh, and it doesn't look like just like a comfy set because you've paired it with and styled it with the jacket, the purse, everything, and taken it to that next level.
And this Air Essentials set makes a great gift. I gave it to my new daughter-in-law last year for Christmas, and she wears it all the time. It's a great gift.
I was gonna say I just got that. I don't want to ruin for who on air, but I did just get that set too, and it's so comfy.
It's a good one.
Looks great on everyone.
Yes.
Next up to cashmere, but affordable, you say?
Yeah, one piece is a little bit of a splurge, but most are truly affordable. First off, cashmere socks.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
These are from Target.
What?
And they're $12.
Cute.
And it's a 2-pack. And these are one of my favorite thing gifts this year. So if you're going to a favorite things party and you need something on the lower end, these are great. Who doesn't love a soft, cozy cashmere sock?
Absolutely. And if you don't know someone's size, or you're thinking about like for your boss, or
exactly,
that's such
work
a good gift.
like a Secret Santa at work, this would be perfect.
Okay.
Yep. Cashmere sweaters, always a good idea. These are from Quince. They're $50 to $100. They're just amazing quality, and who doesn't want a cashmere sweater?
Okay, and then you also have this scarf or something too. Is that from Nordstrom?
This is a cashmere scarf from Nordstrom. It's the new triangle scarf. Have you seen those?
No.
So they kind of just go around your neck, but then you can also tie them and make them a hood.
Cute.
Really versatile. There's lots of inexpensive versions as well, but that's just a really cozy cashmere one.
Okay, for a little splurge if you have someone special. And then going to the comfy stuff. Robes, pajamas, slippers. I'm seeing it all. Where do we start?
Okay, well, I feel like sleep is one of the most important things we all need.
Yes.
And it's nice to sleep in things that feel good. Plus, with the holidays around, you want to look good when you get up, right?
True.
I mean,
Christmas morning when people are in your house, you
and
actually
photos are being taken.
Oh yes.
So this cute pajama set is just from Target, but it feels like butter.
Again?
Just adorable. So this is just a really cute little 2-piece set. But this robe is my new favorite thing. This is from a company called Mason Gray.
Oh.
And this robe, you put it on and you truly feel like $1,000,000. It just is cozy. It's right around $100. So it's a little more of a higher end robe price, but
the material on
doesn't it feel amazing?
Feels like butter on your skin.
And honestly, if you're kind of in midlife and you get a little warm,
this is also good, breathable
feels
fabric.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's just so chic and so cool.
Okay, and then these slippers, what can you tell me?
Right, I'm a huge fan of J. Crew slippers. And these are both from J. Crew. These are so fun, the leopard. They come in solids too, so if you have someone who's not a leopard fan,
I like the pizzazz.
And then a fun little kind of sweater version, I think are really fun as well.
Again, cozy with that fur inside.
And a little more fashionable than a pair of Uggs.
Good point.
Okay.
Jewelry, this is so beautiful. Tell me about this brand, because this is your favorite brand,
This is
right?
my favorite brand. This is Miranda Fry Jewelry. I wear it every single day. I had to take all my bracelets off to show them to you all. So, necklaces, bracelets, earrings. It's gold-filled and gold-plated. It's affordable. It makes a statement without being too over the top. I think their pieces are really just timeless and pretty.
And then we're seeing how you did that there, that bracelet stack, so you can really layer a lot of this jewelry as well.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of a good bracelet stack.
And you said that this is affordable. It looks so expensive.
It is, and right now it's part of Black Friday sale, so take advantage of that. Still going on right now, but they're amazing pieces.
I know with Cyber Monday and everything else, I feel like today is the best day to get a lot of your Christmas holiday shopping done and ready for everyone.
Right, so good.
The last category, this is something that I love gifting to all of my friends and family. I feel like it's so personalized and stunning. So tell me about what you brought today with this.
I brought some monogram gifts. So if we remember over the summer, these totes were on fire.
Yes.
The Land's End tote and the LL Bean tote. So I kind of have one of each, but you can monogram them. So this
what
one,
does that say?
This one says Garden Girl because I'm a huge gardener. So this is my personal bag. But you could do a fun saying. You could do, someone's name or
New Day Northwest.
New Day Northwest. And then over on that one, I just did my initials.
Oh, it's so classic. You want to talk about something that's never going to go out of style. I feel like ever since I've been little, all of this has year over year stayed.
And Land's End, so the scarf and the sweater both are from Land's End, and you just pay a little extra and you can get them monogrammed, and there's so many to choose from.
Wow.
From initials, and different fonts. It's just a really fun personal gift.
I've never seen the scarf monogram like that. And then this cardigan is so subtle too, because
Adorable,
you
right?
used a lot
Yeah.
of the same,
Yes.
like the color, the same thread color.
Yeah, I kept
there.
it really simple on that one and just 2 initials, but I thought it was a really fun gift.
Oh my gosh, well, I
Yeah.
love all of your gifts. How do you
Awesome.
come up with all of this? Are you just testing year-round what you like?
Well, I just buy and shop and look for things that I love, and that's what I want to give to others, is I want to give you a gift that I love and hope that you love it just as much. So
I loved what you said at the beginning. One for you, one for me.
isn't that what we do when we Christmas shop?
I mean, that's what I do. So
Right?
I was happy to hear that you're very similar in
yes,
that.
I am.
Oh, Dawn, thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having
Happy
me.
holidays.
Same to you.
And next up, here's one fall tradition that I'm grateful carries into December, pie. When New Day continues, one of my favorite people who happens to be a chef, I know how to pick them, right? Joel Gamron is showing us how to make a pumpkin pecan pie and save money on our weekly grocery bill at the same time. Win-win. But first, what's cozier than a warm blanket, a bucket of popcorn, and some of the most acclaimed films of this year? The VP of the Seattle Film Critic Society joins us with another movie roundup, and we look at the top films to watch for in 2026.
Time now for Hawk Zone, sponsored by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Well, for the first time in a decade, the Seahawks shut out their opponent. They allowed 0 points against the Minnesota Vikings in a game that was largely a battle of the defenses. Terry Holloman joins me in the Hawk Zone, as he always does, to break this one down. And I want to start with your bold prediction, my friend, from last week. You believed the Seahawks defense would get back into the business of forcing turnovers. Listen in.
I think we're going to get some turnovers. We didn't get any interceptions last week. I think the Seahawks come up with 3 turnovers in this game, and that's going to be the difference. 3 turnovers.
3, you
Three,
said.
I
You
did
were
say.
close.
I
We
was
got 4.
close.
We
Somebody
got
did it.
4
That's like-
turnovers.
But you know what it's like when you say you have 3, you end up getting 4. That's like when you order fries at the fast food restaurant, and it's just regular fries, but you find a curly fry in there. We got an extra curly fry. 4
You're right.
turnovers,
You're
yeah.
right. What did you think about the defensive effort?
Man, again, this Seahawks defense shows up every single week, and they show out. They're just like we expected them to be. They're putting pressure on the quarterback. The secondary guys are making plays back there. And I knew when they had an opportunity this week to face this Vikings team, they were going to have a chance to get some turnovers. You know, the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy over there in Minnesota, has been struggling this season, and he struggled mightily in Lumen Field this weekend. So I knew we were going to have a chance to take some balls away, and they did that.
Oh, so fun to watch. And why do you think, though, it was such a challenging day for the Seahawks passing game? We usually are talking about JSN nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, it's the NFL. We said here, right?
True.
Any given Sunday, every dog has its day. But you have to look at these guys. What they intended to do, the Minnesota Vikings, they said, we're going to let anybody else beat us except JSN and Sam Darnold. We're going to let you see if your running game can do it. We're going to see if some of your other tight ends or your other receivers can do it. So what they did is they had a game plan pretty much to really kind of bubble wherever JSN was going to. They would cheat a safety over to go over the top while they had somebody covering underneath. So there were really tight windows for Sam Darnold to throw into. So that made it tough for one. The other tough thing is those guys up front for the Minnesota Vikings were getting after Sam Darnold. Like, it seemed like he had 1-2 and it was time to throw the ball. And a lot of times he was getting hit and plastered. He ended up getting 4 sacks. So again, that makes it tough when you're a quarterback trying to get the ball to your number 1 wide receiver. That being said, you know, we still came away with a victory.
I know he only had 2 catches, JSN, for 23 yards.
He's
that
human.
was shocking. I know,
No, it's shocking.
but
He's
shocking.
human. He's not a machine. Until next week, we'll see a machine come back.
Yes, he'll
Hopefully,
be back
yeah.
for sure. Like you talked about, the Seahawks, I feel like, really leaned into the run game, but they struggled to really finish the drives in the red zones.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that execution.
So, yeah, they've been struggling all season long in the red zone. And, you know, it's kind of been a question, kind of an Achilles heel for this team. We're very good in between the 20 and 20. We get down into the red zone and they kind of choke. Again, the field gets shortened. Your playbook kind of gets smaller. There's a certain number of plays you can run. I think what happens down there with the Seahawks is a couple of times they like to get too cute down there. You know, rather than just pound the ball, run the ball, stick it in there, they get too cute, start doing motions and things like that, and things mess up when you start doing stuff like that down there.
I know. You know who I thought was being a little too cute too, but I still love him, was Reek.
Reek.
When he got that, turnover,
he
so
did.
exciting, but next time, run out of bounds.
Not just run out of bounds, lay down. I understand though, because you think about this, as a defensive player, you never get to touch the ball, right?
True.
So when I get to touch the ball, and I bet you Rick Woolen, being the athlete that he is, when he was growing up, he played either receiver and running back.
100%.
So he's like, I get the ball, I'm about to bloop, bloop, and score. But then he got bloop, bloop, and fumbles.
I know. But next time.
Yeah.
Who was your player of the game?
Oh, my player of the game is our number one linebacker, Ernest Jones. He had an incredible game this weekend.
Yes.
Coming back off an injury. He did not play the previous week, and he's had some injuries all season. He's like, okay, I'm going to show y'all what I got, what I've been doing. I've been rehabbing and getting strong and fast. So what he did yesterday, 2 interceptions. One of them was a pick six. Again, a pick six is the biggest play you can make in football, and he made one. Almost 90-yard touchdown return there. He had 12 tackles, which led the entire defense. Ernest Jones, player of the game. It's not even close.
I know. I loved what he was saying. He said he was like hearing someone breathing down his back, but it was Reek again trying to chase him to the end zone.
Reek showing out, as usual. Yeah.
As usual. And I loved Ernest's speech at the end of the game in the locker room.
He's a solid
was
leader.
super special.
Glad we picked him up.
Definitely. This week, the Seahawks are heading to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. What can you tell me? What should we look for in this game?
This is an Atlanta Falcon team that has been struggling. They started out with a lot of promise this year. They thought they had their new franchise quarterback in Michael Penix Jr., who is a University of Washington alum.
Go Dogs.
Yes, but a couple of weeks ago, he blew his knee out, ACL. He's done for the season. So they're on the rocks right now. They lost to the lowly Jets last weekend, so they're going to be hurting this week. But they still have a great running back in Bijan Robinson, who had 193 yards this past weekend. So the Seahawks are going to be praying for that guy.
Okay, bold predictions, because we saw yours at the top of this segment.
You're very good at this. Another fortune teller. I think this week we're going to get JSN back on track.
Ooh.
He had a week off. He didn't have as many yards, didn't have enough catches, not a lot of production. But this week we're going back over 100 JSN, and the Hawks are going to win. 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, I like it. And the Seahawks also got some help yesterday after the Rams loss against the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, yeah, they did.
So now they're back on top and tied for first place. Yep. And the 49ers are just 1 game back. It's a tight division, though.
It is very tight, always very competitive in NFC West. But again, we got some help. The LA Rams are back, dropped down a little bit, and we're tied with them. And then we got to face them a little while down the road here in Seattle.
And we're going to win. That's my bold prediction.
Ahead of time.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Terry. And it's almost time to celebrate half a century of the timeless music with Air Supply. The legendary duo brings their 50th anniversary tour to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Wednesday, December 10th. Sing along to classics like All Out of Love and Making Love Out of Nothing at All. It's an unforgettable night of memories. Visit the website on your screen for ticket information. And 'tis the season for sweet treats and cozy indulgence. After the break, Emma Cortez of Emma's Edition is here to share 3 of her favorite French-style bakeries right here in Seattle. Seattle's food scene is full of hidden gems, and today we're spotlighting a few that bring us a taste of Paris to the Pacific Northwest. And joining me now is a lifestyle blogger and content creator, Emma Cortez of Emma's Edition, who's taking us on a delicious journey through 3 of her favorite French-style bakeries in the Seattle area. Hello again.
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, look, I mean, how can I not be excited? I'm about to dive in and taste test. I want to get straight to it. The French guys, that's your first pick.
Yes.
What's
so
over here?
I love the French guys. They actually started out just delivering in 2021 during the pandemic. Now they have 2 locations. They have a location in SoDo. The French guys, literally 2 French guys who came together. Their name is Renaud and Thibaut. And one of my favorite things about the French guys is their hazelnut croissant. I get this every time.
Really?
It's phenomenal. And I also love, one thing that I think that is really unique with them is they have the mustache bread situation, which I think is so cute.
That is so darling.
Yes, but I really have always enjoyed the French guys. I was there when they opened their Capitol Hill location. Now they're at Uville, and now they're delivering. And so if you are in the greater Seattle area and you can't get to Uville or can't get to Cap Hill, they do deliver. And so that for me was a surprise. I was like, I should have had them cater my baby shower.
Seriously, well, in the holiday season too, if you're cooking nonstop, every once in a while you just want some yummy pastries at your house with coffee. So I'm gonna dive into this one and taste test. And while I'm doing that, we're moving right along to your second one over here, Bakery Novo, right?
Yeah.
What is this?
So Bakery Novo, they actually have been around the city since 2006. Chef William and his wife Heather started the company. So West Seattle's their original location, and then they also have locations in Capitol Hill. Newest one is in Burien. I love Bakery Nouveau just because they have unique things, like they have a twice-baked croissant, but today we really, I know, twice-baked croissant, you won't find that anywhere else, but one thing that's really unique with them is they have a traditional Stollen, which has been certified, you know, by bakers in Germany, and we're gonna taste that today.
What can I expect from tasting
So I
this?
would say it's like a fruit bread. So if you've had like a traditional fruit bread, one thing that's unique with the traditional Stollen is it's not made with marzipan. And so they have two versions, one with marzipan, one that's more traditional, certified, and it comes in different packaging. What do you think?
I really, really like this.
Oh, good.
I'm shocked because at first when you said like fruit, you think sometimes like fruit cake or something like
that's
that.
right.
But tastes totally different. That is so good. The bread is so moist. And I have to say that, I don't know what this is, like a bacon pastry
a bacon,
over there.
ham, and
Just
cheese.
eating my way through everything. That was absolutely delicious too.
Yes.
Next up too, we have our third and final French bakery. This one is Mirabeau, is that right?
Mirabeau by Orphée. So they opened earlier this year in Pioneer Square. And honestly, it's like a slice of Paris in the middle of the city.
Heaven.
I love that they have a whole cafe. They have seating outside, which is really, like, if you've been to Paris, like cafe seating on the outside is a part of that culture. And they have incredible breads. They import their butters from France. And so when you come here, especially, like, you'll find every pastry kind of under the sun. And so you'll find your traditional pastries, you'll find stuff with almonds, you'll find small baguettes, and they also have their breads, of course. And so you can't go wrong. Maybe you can try a traditional just croissant or cookie.
That's what I'm leaning towards, is just the traditional croissant. This is what I always get, or a baguette. And as I'm diving into this, what are your like resolutions going into 2026? Yes. Because everyone loves following you, including me.
Oh,
this
I
looks so
appreciate
good.
it. I think for me in 2026, so I am due soon with my second child.
Congratulations!
Thank you. So I'll have the baby hopefully end of January, close to the due date. And then I'm hoping to honestly just continue to highlight local businesses in the Pacific Northwest, continuing to find hidden gems and sharing those experiences, small businesses with the greater Pacific Northwest community. Because what I found is that you may not even know that you can get a taste of Paris in Seattle, right?
Exactly.
And so this is just like, you know, one thing that I really loved this year, going to different cafes. And so just continuing to do that and hopefully experiencing, you know, new businesses or businesses that I just haven't yet discovered with the greater Seattle community.
Really fast, where can people find you?
You can find me at Emma's Edition on Instagram, on TikTok, across all social media channels and YouTube.
Boom.
And that's it.
Oh, thank you so much. So good. That croissant changed my life. And the chilly weather has me wanting to stay inside watching movies. We're bringing in an expert for a roundup of the best movies of the year and what films to watch out for in 2026. That's all coming up next.
It's a new day.
The holiday season often means spending a lot of time at home, so it's time to fill up your content plate with some movie recommendations. Vice President of the Seattle Film Critic Society, Chase Hutchinson, joins me now. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, we love this time of year, just getting cozy, watching a couple cool films, and you have the recommendations. So you're gonna give a wrap up of your top movies of the year, starting with number one, Sinners.
Yes, so Sinners is Ryan Coogler's new movie. It's a movie about history, music, and vampires. That may sound like a spoiler, but it's only one small fraction of just the really electrifying movie. It's a crime thriller, it's a family drama, it's a fantastical story of vampires, and it was the big kind of breakout horror hit of the year. If you missed it, there's no better time to catch up with it. If you've already seen it, trust me when I say it will play just as well at home.
Is it really scary? A lot of people are talking about this, and I guess I'm just a little intimidated that it might be too scary for me.
I'm used to a lot of scary things, so I might not be the best person to say, but I would say that's a good gateway horror film to where it's very funny, it's very engaging. There are some scares, but they're all wrapped up in a really kind of accessible, humorous, but very thoughtful film as well.
Okay, I like that. Number 2, Marty Supreme.
So this is the new film starring Timothée Chalamet as Marty himself, a ping pong player, which sounds like it would not be a very exciting film. How exciting can ping pong be? The answer is very exciting because it is not just about ping pong. It is about young Marty aspiring to be the greatest of all time. It is about his ambition, it is about his charisma, and it is also about his self-destruction. It also stars Gwyneth Paltrow, who hasn't acted in a while and makes a really interesting return. And it's basically just about him careening through New York City, trying to be the greatest, and tripping and falling on his face, stumbling back again. It's probably one of the most anxiety-inducing, but also one of the most exciting movies of the year.
Ooh, okay. I haven't heard enough about that one, I feel like. So that's going to be added to my list. Number 3, No Other Choice.
So No Other Choice is another film that is also very stressful about someone trying to make it for themselves. It's a new film from Park Chan-wook about a man who gets laid off from his job and finds himself facing a long period of unemployment and decides the solution to this will be to eliminate the competition of other people that are going for his job. It's a darkly comic thriller. If you've never seen the director's other films, it's very heightened, it's very well shot. It's almost like a dark version of Looney Tunes in terms of the slapstick that comes into play, but it's also really, really incisive about class, about people striving to survive, and then discovering that we're all kind of struggling in the same way, and the people that he's trying to take out might not be so different than he is.
Gosh, so dark comedy.
Yes, very much so.
You're like, very dark.
Very dark, very dark.
Number 4, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. I've not heard of this.
So I'm going to have a hard time talking too much about the plot because it is a murder mystery, so I don't even want to indicate where it will go, but it's the new Rian Johnson film. It's a Knives Out film. And this film stars Josh O'Connor as Father Judd, a man who is brought to this new parish where he discovers nothing is quite what it seems, and he suddenly finds himself the suspect in a murder that he did not commit, but everyone believes that he did. And so he has to defend his name, and then suddenly, of course, who shows up but Benoit Blanc himself? It's a very darkly funny, very incisive film about religion, and it also is, if I may say, a film with as beautiful cinematography and production design as the two leading men themselves.
Ooh, okay. Big high marks from you there. And then number 5, the last one on your list here, The Mastermind.
So this is another Josh O'Connor film. It has very much been a Josh O'Connor fall, and this is the best of the bunch. It's a art heist film from the local indie director Kelly Reichardt, and it is about this man who decides, with the Vietnam War playing out in the backdrop, that he will rob a museum. Why is he deciding to do this? That's kind of what the movie's about, because let's just say he doesn't think this through. He ends up hatching this operation. It goes off better than you would think, but not as well as you would hope, and then it's kind of his life unraveling after that. And his family facing the consequences, him having to figure out what is now this life? What is it that he is going to do, that he's robbed these paintings successfully, but then his family is kind of falling apart and he has to take off on the run. It's very droll, it's very slow, it's very patient, but it's a very rewarding film at the same time too.
Ooh, and now I want to talk about 2026 too, because those all sounded amazing. What films are on the horizon that we should look out for? Number 1, Blue Heron.
Well, so if all the movies I just talked about where men are really going through it and men are having a bad time, this is more about a young woman. It's Sofia Ramvari's feature directorial debut about this young woman who is looking to understand her past, where her family and her older brother was struggling with some sort of challenge that they were not equipped to deal with. They move to this new place, they try and figure out how they can support him, and then it cuts to the future where she's trying to figure out, is there anything else we could have done? Is there anything else we could have done to support him? It's a very emotional movie, it's a very sincere movie, and it's a very inventive movie in how it plays with time and how it plays with memory, and it has very good use of music in how it ties everything together at the end. it's probably the most anticipated movie of 2026 that you should have on your radar.
Ooh, okay, well now it's on our radar. Number 2, The Chronology of Water.
So this is the feature directorial debut of Kristen Stewart, who you may have known
Yes,
from Twilight fame.
of course.
Big regional movie. This is based on the memoir of the same name that also has its own regional ties, and is a very heavy, intense movie about pain, about the stories we tell about ourselves. It's about this woman who becomes a swimmer as a way of kind of getting away from her family life, but then also finding new things for herself, and then becoming a writer. It's very unique in how it's presented and how everything gets cut together to where you're not quite sure how much is an imagined memory, how much is real, how much is someone trying to reinterpret their own trauma, their own pain. But it's probably one of the most unique feature directorial debuts, especially from an actor who has been doing exciting projects, don't get me wrong, but has completely shown herself to be her own voice, her own artist worth following.
Wow, I'm really excited to see that debut by Kristen Stewart. And then Dune, Part 3. We're already on a Part 3. I need to watch Part 2. Okay.
Part 2 was quite good. This part is going to be based on the book Dune Messiah, but they're not calling it that because they just want it to be Part 3. We all know what we're getting in store for. It's based on the book by Frank Herbert, who was this also local author. It's probably the big blockbuster to look out for. They haven't released anything to look out for, but if the last 2 chapters are any indication, it's going to be this very big science fiction movie of stunning visuals and kind of complicated ideas that challenge what we think of when we think of the hero. It also is going to star Timothée Chalamet, so he's going to put the ping pong paddle down, and then he's going to go to space, and it's probably the one that you should really get the family together to go see, to be transported to another destination.
Okay, well, did you like Dune 2? Should I be watching that?
I did like Dune 2. I don't know if it's quite as propulsive as Dune 1. It's a little more expansive, but it really sweeps you up in this very expansive sci-fi world that is only going to grow from here.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. This was awesome.
Thank you so much.
And coming up, diabetes doesn't just affect your blood sugar, it can impact your whole body, especially your feet. After the break, we're going to discuss the steps you can take to keep your feet healthy and strong.
New Day Northwest is sponsored by Optum.
Diabetes can take a serious toll on your feet, from nerve damage to circulation problems. Optum Care podiatrist Dr. Sarah Burns is here to explain the risks and share simple steps to protect your foot health. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, Dr. Burns, how does diabetes affect your overall body and specifically your feet?
Well, everything about diabetes and its complications on your body has to do with the extra blood sugar in our body floating around, basically looking for something to do. So our body can't use that glucose as nutrients the way that it's supposed to. So this glucose starts to attach to different parts of our body and block the normal signals and processes. In the foot, it has the biggest impact on our skin, our blood flow, and sometimes on joints.
Okay, and one of the major concerns I also understand is nerve damage. Can you explain what causes that?
Nerve damage, also called peripheral neuropathy, is because our nerves get glucose attached to them. And then the signals can't pass from the feet up into our brain the way that they're supposed to. The glucose is blocking those signals from passing normally. So certain nerve sensations will be affected differently. A lot of diabetics lose protective sensation, which is this friction kind of sense in our feet. So you might develop problems like calluses and blisters and not feel pain the way we normally would.
Gosh, okay, and what's the difference between nerve, joint, and blood vessel damage?
Yeah, so nerve damage, the peripheral neuropathy we just talked about. Joint damage is a little less common. There's certain types of arthritis and other problems that can cause pain or limited range of motion. And blood flow can also be affected because the blood vessels can become more rigid and not as elastic and more inflamed, which can lead to blockages. And we're not getting enough blood flow to our feet in those situations.
Gosh, okay, and what steps can people take to prevent or at least delay nerve damage in their feet?
To delay nerve damage and really any other complications from diabetes, controlling our blood sugar really is super important. By reducing our blood sugar, our body's function can be much closer to normal.
Okay, and for those already living with diabetes, what are the best ways to really improve and protect our foot health?
Besides controlling blood sugars over time, one of the most powerful things that patients can do is actually institute a daily regimen of looking at their feet, specifically the bottoms of our feet, which can be hard to get to because they get so far away, especially as we get older. So if we can't see the bottoms of our feet, maybe get a mirror and put it on the ground so that we can reflect up to our faces what we're seeing. Or if we're lucky enough to have a loved one who's willing to look at our feet. If you know what normal looks like, then you're going to be able to tell if something has changed. With problems like skin and nerves, what we're looking for is blisters that we don't really understand why they got here, especially if they're changing colors and looking kind of strange. Calluses that are also starting to look strange, getting really large. Those can sometimes hide problems like wounds on our feet, which can become infected.
Okay, and when should we be calling our doctor, though, or scheduling an appointment? If we're just looking and we see something that isn't normal, because sometimes you don't want to be overkill and go too early, but is there such a thing?
There's no such thing as too early when it comes to foot care because everything can look a little bit different. If you've seen a change, then you want to see your podiatrist or your podiatry team as soon as possible. Wounds could take like a few minutes to develop in the wrong pair of shoes or something happens, and it can take months to heal afterwards. The sooner that we catch them, the shorter that time is, and the lower the risk of infection and other health problems.
Amazing. Are there other key takeaways or anything you want to add to for viewers at home?
Also, I mean, just as a note, wearing shoes or something with a hard sole around the house is a super helpful habit to have. One of the issues with nerve damage and poor circulation is that you may not feel if you step on something, if someone broke a glass at a holiday party, then you may not notice there's a problem until it's a pretty big problem. So having a hard-soled shoe on your foot can really help to prevent that.
Okay, amazing. Don't be walking around barefoot all the time. Pro tip. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And if you want to explore more ways Optum Care Washington can support your health, just head to the website that you see right there on your screen. And when New Day continues, it's a win-win situation. We're making pie with Chef Joel Gamron, and he's got the tips we need to save time and money this holiday season when it comes to our groceries. Back after this.
New Day Northwest is sponsored by Safeway.
It's a new day.
Pie doesn't just belong on the Thanksgiving table, and for that, I'm very grateful. Here to share his holiday recipe for pumpkin pecan pie and share how to save on your weekly grocery bill this season is Safeway's Chef Ambassador Joel Gamron.
What's up?
What's up, my friend?
I'm so excited to be still talking about pie.
The fact that even after Thanksgiving,
Yes.
we can do this, really?
Well, first of all, my wife had like a full mental breakdown about the pie crust. She was like,
Oh, I know.
am I overworking it? And then we got so much feedback from our community that we work with and cook with that they're so scared to make pie. So I'm excited to kind of empower everyone at home, teach you some tips and tricks, and show you a new type of pie, which we're calling like zombie pie because it's so different.
So you don't have to decide what
Yes.
you want. You can mix like pumpkin and pecan pie in one.
100%.
This is mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing.
And I always buy the pie crust because I also think I'm going to have a mental breakdown.
Okay.
But now you're going
We're
to
gonna
show me
change that.
I won't.
Yes.
So, right?
Well,
Let's
the pie
go.
crust, let's talk about what it is. Do you have water at home? Raise your
have
hand
water.
if you have water.
I have
Raise your hand
water.
if you have water. Do you have butter?
We hope. I
you
do.
have
I
butter?
always have butter.
Okay, do you have flour? Okay.
I'm not a baker.
Well, we can go to Safeway, we can grab some flour. So what I like to do is use a food processor for this. A lot of
Okay.
people use their hands, but our hands are warm and it melts the butter, and we want to keep the butter really cold. So come over here, my dear.
Yes.
Dump the butter right in.
All right.
Okay,
This is
you're
a
gonna go
lot
right
of
in.
butter,
Yep, go
but
for it, Kelly.
when in Rome.
When in Rome.
Okay.
Yep.
So you don't put this out room temperature. You...
No, right from the fridge. So
Oh,
it's nice
I've
and
been
cold.
doing it wrong already.
You kind of want to have the butter be like little pieces versus like smeared in there. So we add the flour, a little bit of sugar,
A little
bit of salt.
just a dash.
Just a dash. And then a little bit of salt. And then we put this down, and then there's a button on our food processor called Pulse. Does anyone ever heard of the Pulse button?
I have.
Right there.
I have used that. What about the water? You don't put that in yet?
That comes. Okay.
Okay.
But the Pulse button is meant for this. So it's meant just to kind of like break up that butter. I don't know why I'm dancing.
I mean, I kind of am too.
kind of
I'm like,
into
do
it,
we
yeah.
need like a little hip hop
Yes.
music? Okay.
So now get in there with your fingers.
What?
Just pull some out.
Oh.
And do you see how small the butter is?
Oh, yeah.
Little globules of butter,
Weird.
right? So then you put this back on, and you pulse, go for it, and I'm just gonna stream a little bit of water in.
I literally just go like this, or do
Yep.
I hold it down?
Yep, just pulse it up.
Wow.
And this water is gonna just kind of bind everything together. You can see it happening.
Oh, yeah.
And you make this really simple dough.
That is.
That's it. Right when it comes together. Done? Done?
And you don't, when do I know
Right when it comes together.
Oh.
So the second it does that, you're good to go. You put it in a little cling film wrap. You throw this in the fridge or
How
freezer.
long do I put that in the fridge
15
for?
minutes and then you're ready to roll it out.
Okay.
So it's like 4 ingredients. It takes like 4 seconds. Make your own pie crust. So
All right.
once it's at this stage, we roll it out. Now I want to teach people how to roll it out because they're scared to roll out like the perfect circle.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
I
It just never happens.
Well, sometimes it comes out like the shape of like Europe, and that's fine. You just lean in, okay? So the right way to, let me see how you would roll dough at home.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, exactly. This is how 90% of people roll dough, which is fine. But
And sometimes I can't even find my rolling pin, so I just grab a can of like pumpkin pie.
Which is totally good.
Okay, now you're gonna show
me. So the
me.
right way to do it, instead of going back and forth, which kind of makes it fat on the sides and skinny in the middle, is start in the middle, go out. Pick it up, back to the middle, and go the other way.
Why does no one show you how to do this?
You are with me.
No, I
on
know,
New Day
but no one
Northwest.
ever. Why? Like no one's ever stopped me before.
Someone just
I
comes
just
out of
sit
your
there and I'm
drawer.
like, well, somebody needs to.
All
Okay.
right. So now that it's really nice and even, and again, it doesn't have to be perfectly round, we have our pie plate. And what you do is, I want you to kind of lightly roll this back up onto the pin. So roll it back up. Yep. You go.
Keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Cool. This is how you move it. So you kind of pick it
I
up
also have never.
like this.
Yeah.
And then we pull this over, and look, then you unroll it.
Oh.
And it's just perfect.
That's perfect.
Isn't that great?
Look at all your pro tips.
I know. And then you just kind of let these kind of in. And then this is where you can get fancy or not, but you can kind of put your finger in and pinch. Do you want to try? It's like Play-Doh.
Oh.
Okay.
My nails are not helping the situation.
Yeah,
but-
your nails are helping. I'm just making a very cool design. So this
It's
just kind
doing
of crimps
something.
it, right? You can
And
go
so
all
this
the way
gets
around.
the traditional kind of pie crust that we've seen with the little
Yes,
crimp
you can
side.
cut off the excess if you want. And then you do what's called blind baking, which does not mean you do this with a blindfold on.
Oh, thank you for letting me know.
So if you were to bake this, now it would puff up.
Yeah.
So you want to hold it down. So we put
Some foil.
and then you see those chickpeas right there?
Yeah.
Come just dump them in here.
Dump the
Yeah.
chickpeas
Dump
in?
the chickpeas. You can use pennies as long as they're clean.
What?
Right.
Well, pennies aren't being made anymore,
I know,
so
I
I
guess
don't know
that's
if you're going
true.
to find any pennies.
That's true.
How much?
That's perfect. Just to the
Okay.
top. Yeah. And that just weighs down our crust. So you
What?
bake this for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Then you remove it. And then you'll have this pie crust that's kind of like semi-baked and golden brown, but it stayed flat. Does that make sense?
Yes. So it's almost, I have heard of this with like cooking pizza too. You have to like put the dough in the oven for a little bit and then take it out. It's
You
similar.
can with pizza, yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise it puffs up. So that does its thing. Then we made a really simple pumpkin pie filling, which people know how to do. It's basically pumpkin, like ground pumpkin. And by the way, speaking of ground pumpkin, everyone always asks me what we do, like what ingredients we go
Right.
for.
What brands you're using?
We're obsessed with Signature Select.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Everything private label, the O Organics, Lucerne, these products are at Safeway. These are their products. Really thoughtfully sourced, really well priced.
Right.
Look for these brands. They are amazing.
Okay.
Yes. Just FYI. All right.
FYI, and I like their delivery too that you can do at Safeway as well. You love this.
We live on, I have small kids, we live on the delivery. And we'll get like a stick of butter delivered. Like,
really, you're all about it.
gone are the days of going over to the neighbors and being like, you have Safeway. They're your neighborhood grocer. Just go on their app. They will deliver it to you like 30 minutes sometimes. And they'll
this
get you that
app is
cup
the
of sugar.
first thing that you do too, right?
Yes.
When you're going to the store, you get on the app because it saves you time and money, right?
100%. Well, the app tells you what's on sale. It
True.
gives you the deals. And so if I'm thinking what's for dinner tonight, I go on the app and I'm like, oh, chicken thighs are on sale. So I guess chicken thighs are for dinner tonight.
Yeah, you can find your protein and go.
Yes, and you know, groceries are expensive nowadays.
know,
so
it
it's
really
good
is.
to kind of, Safeway sets you up to give you that leg up.
And
which
that's
is
why I
huge.
do like their brands too, because it does save you money.
Super fair priced.
Okay, back to the filling.
Now this is where it gets kind of a zombie pie situation.
Oh, I thought you were going to say hard and I was going to have a meltdown. Okay, let's go.
So this is our pumpkin pie, but if you can't decide and maybe you want pecan pie, you can just throw it on top.
You could have both.
And it's both. Okay, so what we're gonna do is add some melted butter into the bowl.
All right.
A little bit of vanilla, I'll crack an egg.
Okay, this is vanilla.
Yeah, right in.
Yum.
And then we got cinnamon, a little bit of
Cinnamon
salt.
and salt?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I
and
was
then
like,
some
is that
brown
sugar? Oh yeah, and then
Go
you're
for it.
whisking this till it's a consistency that you feel,
No, you did great.
Sorry
You just
about
saved us a
that.
couple calories. I appreciate that. Okay, I needed that. I needed that sugar
You're
to
welcome.
spill. I love it. So you just kind of mix this up until it's kind of
It's almost
smoothish.
soupy.
Yeah, and then you know how to
Soupy.
describe food to make it crave-worthy.
It looks a little
Looks
murky and
soupy.
soupy.
Yeah, great.
Delicious.
So then you just take this beautiful mixture and you just
And
kind
you
of
dump it?
dump it right on top like this. Okay.
Wow.
And it kind of melts into the pie. And you bake it for another 20, 25 minutes and it looks like this. And I'm telling you, Kelly, when you can't decide pumpkin or pecan, you just make them one.
Are the pecans glazed from what you put in there, or
Yes.
did you get extra? Like, did you go double glazed?
No,
They were
glazed
fresh.
from just what's on there.
Okay.
So I want you to try it.
I'm
This
going
is
to try it.
a homemade creation.
Oh, I cannot wait. And while I'm trying this too, you have a new thing, Pocket Chef.
Oh my
this
God.
is so cool. Like, please tell me about
Okay,
this.
if you're having fun with Kelly and I right here, I can now be in your pocket for free and help you at home. So at select Safeways, Queen Anne, Gig Harbor, Sammamish, you just go in there, you scan the QR code, and you're texting with one of our chefs. Sometimes it's me, and we can help you with whatever you want in the kitchen. And we've teamed up with Safeway, so we know the deals, we know what recipes we should recommend. It is a very cool kind of pilot, and it's been really fun to learn what people are asking about. And pie was so scary for people, so I'm glad
That's
we're
what
doing
you
it.
said. That was one
Yeah.
of the like big questions.
Yes.
This is delicious.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't have to decide anymore. A little zombie pie. This is so
it's
so
good.
good,
This
as
is
always.
breakfast.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to you all for spending time with us today. You can check our website for more of our content. And you can always send us an email to share your thoughts. Don't forget to enjoy your new day. And we'll see you next time. Yum.